I have never dyed my eyebrows.
I can't believe you're going to tell a story.
So this is the most asked question above everything else.
For the sake of this massive turd.
Don't make me bring up the 1 week in Krabby. The clog was released. Hello and welcome back to the Dare to Venture podcast with your host, me, Chris.
And me, Tamira.
We are on episode 4 and I can't believe we're on 4 episodes already. It's pretty good.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
I think we're doing good. The feedback has been really good. We really appreciate everybody who's listening and watching along. For everybody who's left a review for us on Spotify, it really means a lot. So if you can do that and you haven't done that already, that really does help us. And also, if you haven't followed on Spotify or Apple Podcasts yet, please hit the follow button or hit that subscribe button on YouTube as well. But we are back today with episode number 4. And the main theme of this week's episode is about how we afford to travel full-time as a family and how we've done it basically for the past 2 years. But first, we'll give a little bit of an overview of everything this week. There's not really much to say because it hasn't really changed much from last week. But
he always says this.
Do you have any updates?
Yes, I do.
Go on then.
Right, so update number 1.
Tell the people.
Update number 1. I've finally dyed Chris's hair.
So obviously, if you are listening along, you're not going to be able to see the visual of my hair. But yes, it's been highlighted. I'd left it too long, basically, so it'd gone to its normal colour. But my expert hairdresser colour technician here to my left, she has done a cracking job.
Well, what happens is you leave it far too long. And I think lots of people think that you're not blonde and forget that you have blonde highlights. So that when it is dyed blonde, everyone's like, oh my God,
Yeah,
you dyed your hair blonde. Oh my goodness.
It's
But
the shock factor every time.
I know, but it finally matches your eyebrows now.
Yes,
So,
it does. It does. Fun fact, people used to say that I dyed my eyebrows when I was younger.
Yeah.
I have never dyed my eyebrows.
They're very, very light.
Anyway, let's move on for my visual appearance.
Okay.
Any other updates?
Yeah. Why don't you remember what's happened in the week? Chris has officially turned 37 now.
Yes, I have.
We had a lovely weekend relaxing and
We went to see How to Train Your Dragon at the cinema.
Really good.
Look,
Now you're remembering.
I know, I'm coming alive. And the film, by the way, was absolutely amazing. The girls loved it. They've watched all the animes and stuff. I think Olivia's read the books and stuff like that. We kind of knew the story. I don't know, you'd maybe watched more
I
than me.
basically know the story off by heart, and we were absolutely blown away by this film. But
so
it
good.
is a little bit, it is
It can be a bit wow, they didn't
dragons
hold
weren't
back.
in your face.
Yeah, they didn't hold back on the CGI.
And I was quite surprised because the dragons did have these huge teeth.
Yeah, and they were quite scary.
Yeah, the one that turned into flames.
Literally, it was kind of a good training session to
You
get
want
them
to
ready
go
for Jurassic World, the new one.
I don't think Bella is ready for that. But anyway, they did take it really well, and it was a really good film. And if you're thinking about going and it's a little bit of an underrated film, maybe your children were never into it, it is definitely worth a watch.
It is.
Because we really enjoyed it. What else is new? So you're now 37. We went to the cinema. Chris has got a new addiction to...
To what?
an ice cream over here that begins with an M.
Mixu.
Do you know the theme tune?
I love you and you love me. Mixu ice and tea. That's how much I'm addicted.
Ice cream tea.
Mixu ice cream tea. If you've been to Southeast Asia or China, Mixu is everywhere. It actually originated in China, but it's all over Southeast Asia. And for an ice cream cone, I'm talking a UK Mr. Whippy ice cream man level.
Takes you back to your childhood.
Yeah, it's that level. It's that good. And it's 30 pence per cone. So I do need to lay off them. But
every time we
enjoying.
drive past that one, we're having one.
I just got to pull in, get a Mixu. But yeah, that is a slight addiction.
What else is new?
And the girls have officially started their new school.
They have, and that was quite a big, complicated deal on Monday of trying to work out the new system. But
Just on that, how are you feeling about it? You've done it fully. Don't make me bring up the 1 week in Krabby, but you've fully done it for 2 years. Amazingly. How have you felt this week?
I've had a massive mix of emotions. So I felt really terrified and worried about them joining in on these classes. And then I've gone to the other extreme of feeling absolutely useless and the school's fantastic and they don't need me anymore. So I've gone through a wave of emotions this week. But on the other side of it, I don't know why I'm not able to explain it properly, but on the other side of it, it's a bit of a mixed bag of emotions. But seeing them go into those live classes and seeing what they are doing, I feel that I have fulfilled them really well over the last 2 years, for the fact of like Scarlett's spellings, her spelling list is the spelling list I gave her 2 weeks ago. So it fills me with pride how they've taken everything in a step and that I haven't actually let them down over the 2 years and they've just fitted straight in. But how I'm feeling about the fact that they might be doing this going forward, I'm confused about how I'm feeling about it all, but I am beaming with pride for myself for being able to homeschool them and not let them down, not let their education disappear. Seeing Olivia work out algebra and jumping into a year 6 class and just being absolutely fine with it is incredible. And the computer skills as well that's needed for online school, they have got as well. So I think that I'm feeling relieved, really proud, emotional, and all of that stuff in one, which that I've had a slightly emotional start to the week.
Hearing things like Olivia coming to me with this new stuff, the maths stuff, and she was showing her working out of what she'd got to that answer, and it was really good. And she said, "This is how Mummy showed me," and that just shows you what you've done. So I think you should be really proud.
I am proud and
good.
Weirdly relieved as well, and then weirdly emotional that we might change it if it doesn't continue to work out, but at the moment it's been really positive and I'm beaming with pride with them. Scarlett is a ball of excitement about it. Don't know how long that's going to last.
She's quick off the mark, is Scarlett, but then fades off. Olivia's more of a marathon runner. She's consistent throughout, but not as quick. Scarlett's like a burst of energy. She's a 100-meter sprinter.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes and we'll keep you guys updated. I think that is everything that's new with us.
Yes, that is everything that's new. As far as I'm aware.
No. More new stuff that has happened today.
Okay.
We have really thought about and planned our travel from the 10th of July. So we have been nervous about it because we haven't really, we've like gone, we'll do that. And finally today, me and Chris actually, because the girls are being schooled by the online school, we've had a really good chat and we've had time to work out what we're doing next. And we're actually really excited about it.
Yeah, it looks really good. We've got a solid 5 weeks. And when you're planning these things, because there is, off the top of my head, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think there's 5 countries.
5-ish different countries with different durations in each, some extremely small, some of them longer. You've got to kind of like put the jigsaw together. So
and also we've got a new idea for how we're filming as well.
Yeah.
But that feels a little bit nice.
It's exciting.
We're clear about it. We've looked at the route. We've worked it out, and it is more than just a pencil. Oh yeah, we're going to go do that. So I feel better about that. And I think that is everything that is new with us.
It is. So on to the main topic of today's podcast episode number 4. And it is a question that we probably get. I would say this is the most asked question above everything else. And it's,
I think it's mainly one of the most important questions for people that are hoping or to live a lifestyle of traveling with their family. It's one of the biggest questions we get asked by these families.
Yeah. How do we afford to do what we're doing? How do we earn money? It is the biggest question that we get. And our answer is through social media, fully through social media. It was right from the start. It was always our plan. It was plan A. And we, fortunately, we'd already worked at it before leaving the UK. So we already had a foundation of social media.
And what were our numbers on that?
The numbers were on YouTube. So we left the UK with 7,000 subscribers on YouTube already.
Wow.
We had 12,000 TikTok followers, and we had like 2,000 Instagram.
Should we just
followers.
go back to like how we even started those accounts? Because that's
Yeah.
a big that's a big question. Like, why did we even start them, and where did they come from? Because they don't really come from what everyone thinks they come from.
No.
So YouTube, where did YouTube come from?
With YouTube, it's sort of like you could think that we started this plan to start filming our traveling from day one, and we built up from there. But it wasn't that. It was years before that we started YouTube, and I personally started it on my own at first.
Just letting everyone know, I had absolutely no interest in it at all.
Yep, no interest.
At this point at all.
Nothing to do with it.
No.
I was basically a personal trainer. It was my full-time job, and I was also documenting my fitness journey, if you like. I followed loads of fitness YouTubers, really inspired by them. I still follow some of them today, and I documented my fitness journey like that. Now, Tamira,
What was your fitness journey? Just let everyone know what you used to do. What did you do just after I gave birth to Scarlett?
The main sort of journey on the channel was me competing in men's physique competition. So not full-on bodybuilding with the thong, silver.
There was no
shiny.
thongs involved except
No.
for the tanning.
Yeah, got the extreme tan, but I wore board shorts, and it was very popular around 2016, 2017, and that's when I was doing it. But it sort of went in line with my personal training, and then a lot of the videos was the sort of training and the journey towards competing. And that's when I started filming. The people that I were watching, they weren't just filming standard videos. They were quite sort of creative with their editing and creative with their storytelling. So I got a lot more into it, into creating content from watching those. And that's where I really got my skill and brushed up on different types of filming, different types of cameras, editing software.
Who were the main people that you were inspired in?
The main people were at the time Steve Cook, Christian Guzman, and I'd say Max Tuning as well. They were like my three biggies that I used to really follow. I've met them at different fitness shows and stuff like that. So yeah, we did a lot of fitness stuff, but it was more so me. What did you actually think back then about me with the camera doing this thing that like no one else really that you knew was doing it?
Okay, I found it a little bit odd that we would go somewhere and you'd have this massive camera, but I just didn't really mind. And then I found that you were getting like these really lovely photos of me, like not smiling at the camera, but me natural with Olivia. And then you do like these montages, and it'd be me and Olivia and me and Scarlett, and it capture these fantastic moments that I didn't know that you were filming. And it was absolutely gorgeous. Like, and I remember I'd watch like your stuff, but just skip it to the montage bit and be like, oh, I really like that bit. So I started just not really minding the camera being there, because you captured part of our lives, even though it was in a fitness video of like seeing your biceps work out.
Yeah.
Like
But I would do like a vlog, so there'd be a bit of training in there, but then there'd be our family stuff as well, and it'd be that, and it was.
I would never vlog in them.
No.
If you were talking down the camera and I was in the background, I'd just
Kinda
back
be
off
there.
what you were saying.
It wasn't until I actually secretly applied for this competition, which was from a company called On the Beach Holidays. They wanted like a family to go and film there themselves on an all-inclusive holiday in Spain, and they had to have experience with like vlogging and stuff like that.
God, I remember this.
So I just randomly applied for this competition, and we got selected basically. And the next thing I was like, Tamira, do you want a free holiday?
Right, so as always, it just happens that Chris has these bonkers ideas. I was going to say it how I say it. I'm just swimming along in my lane, just getting on with life, got 2 children, busy lifestyle, going to work, cooking dinners, cleaning, walking the dog. And there's the bonkers one that comes along, splashes in my lane and puts me right out of my comfort zone. And he just plays it so cool. Oh, Tamira, do you want a free holiday? We haven't been on a holiday this year.
All inclusive.
All inclusive. The gold band.
There will be a side note of a film crew following us, and we will have to do some filming.
And we will be on Channel 4.
Yeah. So there was some sort of catches to it, but you were all game.
I do admit that was the turning point because I hadn't really vlogged ever. And then we went on this holiday. I had to pick up the camera because they wanted parts from me, mum, and I weirdly enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, you really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did.
And I think that it was the whole thing of we were documenting this holiday. We were getting sort of special treatment. We were there with a presenter, Alexis Conran, who was a really nice guy. He was like our presenter and he was working with us. And we just got this really nice sort of whole feeling. We were filming.
Chris got in and did acro aerobics.
Yeah, I
I
had
got
to do
filmed all close up.
had to do some different pieces to camera, and we just enjoyed the whole thing.
And I think from that moment on, we came away from that and we just went, oh, you know what? Why don't we just change that to a family channel? Why don't we just do it together? We enjoyed filming it together so much.
Yeah.
And I remember coming back from that and it felt like we were on cloud 9.
Yeah, we were so excited
Yes.
at this idea of, I mean, the fitness stuff had run its course. I hadn't even achieved 1,000 subscribers. I think it was on like 700, which I was very proud of. But we were so excited to go, right, we're just going to film our family. We're going to do vlogs. We're going to do some fun stuff. The girls were like excited about it.
Yeah.
And it just started from then. It was 2019. It was a start. It was literally like December 2018 to January 2019. We started and changed all the fitness stuff to the Hutchinsons. That's when it started. And we did a whole year of 2019. And we, looking back at it, we worked so hard. It was literally like we worked full time. We were doing our crazy stuff. You working on weekends, me in the week and you in the week. Like we were sliding doors, but the spare time we had, we were filming YouTube videos.
The funny thing is, I know we've gone right back into the story of us again. And I'm sorry, we're a bit self-indulgent. But with it all, really, it's kind of going, we did this all for 0 money.
Yeah, nothing. Earn not one single penny.
We did it for a year, not earning anything. No brand deals, no niceties. People huffing and puffing because we've got the camera out and we're filming and vlogging and feeling a bit awkward sometimes with the big camera and stuff like that. And, you know, we still enjoyed it and we still did it. And we did it for that time. And then we started developing into different stuff, trying different stuff to see if we can get some more viewers and what people were interested in. Where did we want the channel to go to? And yeah, that was what the work was put in way
before we left. I remember we pretty quickly that year we hit 1,000 subscribers and it was a really big moment. We celebrated.
Oh, I remember the photo.
Yeah, we were so happy. But with YouTube, you don't start earning ad revenue until you reach 1,000 subscribers, but then 4,000 hours of watch time. So that is the hardest bit to build up. So people don't realize that. They think if you've got 1,000 subscribers, you start earning money. But you actually need to gain the watch time before you then succeed with it. We did that at the end of 2019. I think we achieved the monetization, but still then the ad revenue was nothing because we weren't getting loads of views. It was like a few hundred views. Maybe some would go over 1,000 and we'd be feeling really good about it, but we weren't getting big views.
I think, like, what was the first amount we got paid by YouTube? Was it like £30?
No, there's a threshold. So each month to get paid via YouTube, it has to reach £65 over the month. And if you reach £65...
You can withdraw it.
No, it gets paid directly into your bank account by Google the following month after that. If you don't reach the £65, it sits there until you reach it. So we spent months, I mean, it might have like a £10 and then a £5 month and then a £3 month, and then you might have a £20 month, and all of a sudden 65 was hit and we got paid, and that was the first.
And that's where the Hutchinson family began
Yeah.
earning £5 a month.
A month. Yeah, it is. It's absolutely true.
And that is, I think that's a massive thing that I want to say to everyone, that when you do this content creation, it might not work straight away. And if you're not enjoying it, it's too much of a push, then it might not be particularly for you.
It's like the good old classic of instant overnight success. And people, when you start sort of growing on social media and getting a bit of attention, you kind of just come out of nowhere, and people don't see the longevity behind it, all the stuff that you've done to get to that point. Like, some people do have instant success overnight, but for us and for the majority of people, it's a long process leading up to it. And that's certainly how it all was for us. I mean, 2019, we did full out. Like we said, we earned zero from all our social media. We didn't earn a penny. And that then put us into 2020. We grew a little bit more in 2020. Obviously, the lockdowns and everything like that, we documented all that.
I was also pregnant.
Yeah, we were pregnant with Bella. There was that whole journey. We filmed the birth of Bella.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, we were on another TV program that we got contacted about, where basically, again,
there's these situations that happen in my life where I'm pregnant, I'm swimming along nicely, everyone's locked down, this is the only pregnancy I'm not working right up until the day that I'm due. I'm relaxing, I'm homeschooling, I'm dealing with being in the house, but it's all good and I'm fine. And suddenly, Tamira, they want to film your birth, and you're going to be on a video phone call with Emma Willis. Oh,
yeah. So
okay.
we were selected to be a part of the of Emma Willis's giving birth in lockdown TV program, and she was like our midwife. But we did like Zoom calls with her and stuff like that. And I had to film literally everything. We filmed the whole journey,
goodness, yeah.
And then we went into the hospital and filmed the delivery. And that is actually on, what was that on Channel 4?
No.
Oh, no, it was on the W channel.
Yeah, that's it.
So I think you can still find that somewhere. It's that episode is on somewhere.
Do we still have the video of our side of it on our channel?
I think so. I think it's on our channel, yeah.
Of actually get the first moments of Bella.
Yes, the birth.
Called...
That was basically during 2020, and we grew.
Oh, at that point we had our first like brand deals, and we got paid.
We were earning a little bit from social media,
and it was quite shocking.
Yeah.
We got sent stuff and got paid to do it, and paid to put it on. I was like, oh, I'm just happy to have this for free.
Yeah.
But we started to have a very small in comparison to what we do now. But it was.
It was still really amazing. We were shocked, but you realise that all the work we'd put in prior had got us to that point, and we were earning a little bit, and we'd got some freebies, and we'd got some good brand deals and working with some good companies, and it was all happening during that year. And I think that year we hit 5,000 subscribers. We still weren't doing any short form content at this point. We didn't have TikTok, and we did have like Instagram.
It was so silly that we didn't do it.
Yeah,
it was so silly.
That is one big thing that we missed. We missed the wave. If we'd have done TikTok in 2020, it'd have been another different story now.
And that's a tip for anyone with social media. You need to jump on whatever new is coming out and just give it a go, because that was where me and Chris kind of at that point just turned our nose up about it and just went, no, we're YouTubers, put our nose up at it and just went, oh, we're not short form. Yeah,
it was a big mistake. We gave everything to YouTube, and it was good, but if we'd have just turned our attention slightly to TikTok as well, I think we'd be in a different position now.
It was so silly.
But there's no point in dwelling on that. Then from 2020, it was managing the balance between social media and what we were doing, and trying to get back into working and getting, like everyone else, our life sorted back out and functioning.
Yeah, but if we're talking from a social media point of view, what happened was you got really busy with the gym.
Yeah.
And it was the first time a whiteboard in our family was properly used.
Yeah.
The one that was on your desk, do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
And you had written a target of 3 TikToks a day
Yes.
for me. And I didn't go back to work anywhere near as much as I was before lockdown because we had all 3 of the girls.
Yeah.
And so I'm just this kind of person that if someone tells me to do something and I go, oh, okay, that means no matter what, I will go and get that done.
Yeah.
And even if it's slapdash or if I've really pushed it, I will tick off that whiteboard where it said 3 TikToks. I would have got that done in that day. And that is where our TikTok account
It started.
just started from.
I'd researched into it and we had to do 3 videos as much as you can pretty much every single day. And we were about probably a year too late starting TikTok. But it did pretty well. Like it built up, like we went through all the system of 200 view jail, and you do a video and you're like, oh, I've done really good there. It's a really good video. But then it just gets like 100 views and like you're stuck in this cycle for ages.
It was just absolutely mad. I mean, I actually had really good times of it because, and this is where like social media, like we really enjoy it. So like, I remember we were really tight with money at points and it'd be like, what are we doing this weekend? And I'd be like, oh, well, we can't do anything. We've got no money. We've just got our food in and we're just in the house. So it would just go down to, right, let's do a family dance together. And like, it's like we relived like the lockdown because we had no money to go out. Everything had become so unaffordable for us. And we just started just doing these dances in the front room with the girls and dressing them up. And we'd dress up and we'd have this great day rehearsing.
Doing these TikTok dances. And the girls loved it. And we just ticked away doing
money.
That. We saved money. We ticked away doing that. And then before long, some videos started to go bigger. We remember those first videos that got like 100,000 views, and we were so excited. We got those first viral type videos. We built up over those years until the point of leaving the UK, and we came away like at a full plan of social media and the full aim. TikTok was meant to be there, but we were full on with YouTube. That was number 1 priority. And I was like, right, we're going to really work at it. We're going to do 2 videos every single week. I'd done the research. I knew what we needed to do, make it sort of our style on top of what I'd learned.
You had researched exactly what other content creators had done in that place. I then had researched what to do as a family and what we would like to do. And we kind of came together in how we designed our videos of what we wanted to do and get the experience out of traveling, because we didn't know how long it was going to be for. So what do we actually want to see in that place? Researching with the girls what is in that place, showing that, and then you were the YouTube side of what will work, putting it together, and it kind of just worked for like 6 months of us doing that.
We just did 2 videos every single week relentlessly.
We didn't miss one except for that one week in Krabi.
When you were ill. But we were relentless, and I knew that we had to be super strict. We had to get the 2 videos every single week done. And we really did make it work. And sometimes it was really hard. And sometimes, you don't get the views that you want to get. You don't get the response that you want to get. But we just kept at it because we were used to it from back at home when we were getting hardly any views and we still churned out the videos. And that for a lot of people, it's a point where you would quit if you were doing something for so long and then it's not working or you're not getting a success with it. People tend to give in. So we're off on our way, on our travels with Plan A, social media, creating content. But number 1 priority was YouTube out of all platforms. Second priority was TikTok. And then last priority was Instagram. We weren't using Instagram to the best of its ability whatsoever. It was kind of like our last priority, but that's because YouTube out of all platforms is the biggest earner. Second to that is TikTok, and Instagram comes in last. Instagram now is even behind Facebook in terms of earning potential because Instagram's literally the only platform that you don't get paid for your content if it does well. So we've had several reels over the past 2 years that have gone to 1 million views that have earned zero in money. So it's quite difficult to focus on building an Instagram when you know that you can put more effort into YouTube, TikTok, now Facebook, and earn revenue on that bit of content. So that it was always like that from the start. It was our least priority.
It wasn't just due to the money either. I think like talking about Instagram, it's probably been one of the most frustrating platforms that doesn't reward you when you consistently do the same thing.
It's so random,
and you lose followers, gain followers. Some posts that like I can spend hours on a reel and like put my heart and soul into it, and it gets like 500 views.
Yeah.
And like it really, but then the one previous would have had like 65k views, and you kind of try and copy the same thing, and then it just doesn't work, and it is a little bit disheartening.
It really is when you compare it to TikTok, the success, the growth. Instagram, like you have these weird, some mornings you wake up and you've lost 200 followers and you're like, what happened? When you marry it up with TikTok, we had a consistent trajectory when we were just increasing, whereas Instagram, it doesn't give you that instant reward, and you get some reward, then you get it taken away, and it's odd. But YouTube is the biggest earner, it's the biggest potential platform if you can build it. But it's the hardest platform. It's the hardest. It's the longest editing time, the hardest to come up for the creative ideas to make a video, 10 minutes plus longer. So that's why not a lot of people do it, or people start it and then quit. But it's the most financially rewarding if you manage to be successful with it. So we did that, we built it, and we kept on going throughout our travel. That was our plan A. And then a couple of months into our travels, we then kicked off a proper strategy on TikTok, because we'd done little bits.
Yeah, so what we'd done little bits, and we weren't being consistent on TikTok at all, and we were just throwing little bits in and out of there. YouTube was number one, and we really pushed it, which meant we had to put all our focus around traveling, around world schooling, homeschooling, because we're doing a lot of world schooling at that point, because we were traveling quite fast. Then we went, right, let's have a look at TikTok again. It was in Koh Samui, and we just started going, right, how are we going to get there? Let's have a look at it. We're doing all right on YouTube. We've got it right. Let's have a look at TikTok now, and let's reboot it. And I remember being at the Koh Samui pool, and I'd made the girls do like loads of stuff, which I had great fun doing. And then we did loads of dances, had great fun doing it. And then if it's not working and you're not doing something right, you've got to look at what's wrong, and you researched so much into it as to what we're doing, how we're uploading it, what our content actually is, and is it relevant anymore? And we actually decided the content that we were producing wasn't particularly inspiring for what we were doing, wasn't particularly relevant anymore, and we weren't uploading it in the correct time zone. We were like uploading it whenever, all over the place. So we strategized. I don't know why I can't say that.
We re-strategized.
That's the word. Thank you. How we were doing things with TikTok, and you walked along the beach and you did a talking to camera piece with the way that we had learned how to film with the phone camera, and it blew everything.
It kicked everything off. Yeah, it kicked everything off. Yeah. So it was that initial. I remember it at Koh Samui on the like a beach near our condo, and yeah, I just decided to tell our story within I think it was a 1 minute to 2 minute piece, and it went viral, and then that was it from then. Yes, the trends have a place, the dancing, the funny trends, the memes.
They'll always have a place.
They'll always have a place on TikTok. That's TikTok. And if you want to get some views and you want to get some sort of like the ball rolling a little bit, it's a good option. But to build an engaging audience and tell your story and get people invested in you, just we just spoke to the camera. We just spoke to it like kind of YouTubey, but a bit more relaxed. And it was just what we did. And it was 3 times a day. We spoke about topics and we just went for it.
We were filming everything.
Yeah.
And making it go into something 1 to 2 minutes long, keeping it punchy, keeping it what people want to see.
Yeah, and we turned it into some of it a mini YouTube channel, basically.
Yeah.
It's important to note that from the first month of us arriving in Malaysia on month 1 of travel after leaving the UK, we earned an income from it. It was £70. So like, that is how much we earned month 1. But that was because of all of the work and the years prior to leaving.
Earning about 20p per month.
Yeah.
All added up to the 70. No.
So it's £70. And then we haven't gone a month without earning from social media since that. So the foundation was already there, but we increased in income throughout the time. And it's also important to know that some months we've earned lower than others. Some months we've earned really well. Some other months it drops down. It's just how social media is. The thing with TikTok is when we kick that back up and we were stuck in 200 jail again for like a month or 2, and we knew because we'd done it before, we knew if we just kept consistent with it, we kept going, we would break out and we would grow. And that's exactly what happened. And just at the time we fired back up with TikTok, we got enrolled into the creator program, or the creator fund, not the creator fund, the creator program. It was like a different one. It was right at that time. It had just been released and you had to have 10,000 followers. We already had that. So I just jumped on it. And little did I know that videos over a minute long were earning like okay money, a lot more than what the previous TikTok fund was. So we were doing a minute videos talking, and all of a sudden we were earning from TikTok as well as YouTube. So we spent months just working at it, doing that. We were getting brand deals in because our numbers were growing. We were going viral on different platforms, and it just grew and grew and grew. And we did do really well, but we changed. Where everything changed for us and went to a new level was China. We went to China. We decided to go there. We did 3 months in China, and things just went to another level. But I don't want to talk too much about China and the trip, because that's going to be the next episode.
Yeah, I think that we were in a really good space with all of our social media. Really, really good. And we'd had collaborations with hotels. We've had brand deals come in. We did Capella cruises in
Halong Bay.
Yeah. And we'd done that and we got good numbers. And yes, China was a different level. And I think it blew our minds. I think you knew all of the opportunities with social media. I think it just opened my eyes and realized what serious money is involved within social media and how much we can just have a career just doing that. And like you said, we don't want to talk too much about China because it's going to be in our next episode. And that is a really big one because it was a massive turning point for us. And there's loads of stuff that we want to talk about within it, but that is where our social media has kind of come from, our story of it, and it's being consistent, not letting the bad times get you down, work your way around it, figure things out. Always question your content, whether it is good content or not, because if it's not good content, which sometimes we put stuff out there and it's gone, yeah, that weren't that good actually. You need to analyze it, because if you're not analyzing it and you're going, oh, people just don't like that stuff, well, there we go. Yeah,
I think as well, one thing that I always say is, would you personally watch your own content? And if the answer is no, then you kind of probably need to change it a little bit, because if you're not going to watch it, then not a lot of other people will probably watch it. And that's something that I've always said to a lot of people who've asked me advice on it. And as well, we're not 100% like pros.
No.
You can, I guess we are professionals. We get paid to do it.
Yeah.
And we do it to a high standard, and we've been successful with it. We're way over 250,000 followers on TikTok now, which is amazing. We've hit an absolute dream milestone for me personally, which was 100,000 YouTube subscribers, and we got the silver plaque, and the girls absolutely loved that. It was
they did.
super special. So I guess you could call us professionals, but like, we're just the same as everyone else doing it. It's just we've had success, but we've put the work in. The research has been there, the consistency has been there, and that is what
And the tears have been there.
Yeah, the low points.
Tantrums have been there. The frustration has been there, and together we've worked our way through it. It's not always been me that's upset and cross about it. You have got frustrated so many times. There's been so many times we've got content there, and you've gone, that's not good enough. I'm not going to put it up. I'm not putting it up. It's just not good enough. And I've gone, just put it up. And if we don't like it, we'll take it back down. And you've just done it. It's there being a team together of seeing the other side of stuff and going, we'll give it a go, or we won't give it a go. Or sometimes you've looked at my stuff and gone, Tamir, it's rushed. It's not good enough. I wouldn't bother doing it. It's not worth it. And we've gone, it's not worth it. It's analysing everything that you're doing and putting in a positive spin to be able to move forward, and not being in that negative mode, which we do get in, and we hold our hands up.
You get stuck in ruts, you get burnout, you get a mind block, you get fed up, you just, like, you go to amazing places, and places where people are on holiday, and you just want to turn the cameras off, sit back, have a cocktail, go swimming. But you've got to film content,
and you've got to attach a camera to you. Like, you've got to do this, you've got to quickly do that, and then, oh, Tamir, you haven't said anything there. Oh, Chris, where's the camera gone now? Oh, it's run out of battery. Okay, where's the batteries then? It is so much, and it is not easy. It is not easy. But if you are there and you are wanting to do it, it is achievable.
The rewards are super incredible. We've had some of the most amazing experiences all through social media. We've earned very good income through social media, but like I said, it is up and down certain months. We went from, like, leaving the UK and we weren't really earning anything from social media to being sponsored by, for example, Visit Qatar, fully paid experience in Qatar to the Middle East, experiences like that. We've had some of the most incredible experiences, and the rewards are really, really big, but there is the trade-off. It's not super easy. And if you think that you can just, for example, start traveling and filming yourself and filming videos and be super successful and get all these free things and earn loads of money and be super rich, it's not like that. It's really hard. You have to be really calculated. You have to put in so much effort. You have to work on your audience, what niche you're in, consistency, everything.
It's been a whirlwind, and we try really, really hard. And you can lose your propulsion, like ideas, blocks, things can get in your heads about trolls. And then, is our content good enough? Are we actually interesting enough? Are we doing the right things? And no matter, like, I would say we're pretty successful.
Yes.
We're earning a living. We're managing to fund this lifestyle by doing it. But I'm still there going, oh, I don't know. Have we all lost it now?
Yeah.
Because we haven't put out a video.
It's all part of the game.
It's so crazy.
It's hard, yeah. You've got to be strong mentally, without a doubt. We really hope that we can inspire as many people as possible to give social media a go. It might not be something that you really want to have as your main source of income, but if you're traveling, if you're wanting to work online and you're interested in creating content and doing social media, it might be just YouTube, it might be just TikTok, it might be Instagram. Give it a go, because you can get success with it. And I'd like to think that we are an example of that. It can happen. We went from pretty much dead in the water, sort of, in the UK. We had our platforms, but we weren't big YouTubers or social media people before we left and before we got on this sort of role. And we went from that to working with some of the biggest brands in the world. And that is no joke.
And that's on top of traveling and going to different cultures, different places, seeing a different side of the fact of what social media is and what weight it carries, and the potential in the future of what it is going to be, and the money involved in it is absolutely shocking. And if I knew what I knew now about social media back when I was leaving the UK,
Yes.
I would not believe me.
No.
And if I was listening to
Yeah.
this podcast, I would not believe a word that me and you were saying.
I agree.
I'd be like, oh, they've done something here. They had extra savings. Oh, no, mummy and daddy gave them money for this. Or they're not living off that.
Or they've had
Honest-
some sort of special leg up.
Yes.
Or they've been given help.
And I genuinely wouldn't believe it.
Yeah. If you were to sit us down back when we first left the UK and you were to show us everything that's happened and where we are, we would be gobsmacked. We won't be able to believe it. And it is, we like, sometimes you're really pinching yourself and you're thinking, is this real? Because it doesn't feel real.
And other times you're crying your eyes out and going,
Yeah.
I can't carry on.
It's true. It's true. So there's major offsets, but 100% is possible. We are so thankful, but we also understand the work that we have put in, and we do pat ourselves on the back for it because we know what it's taken and we know what it's going to take to go up a level and up a level. We're super excited about what's coming up. We've got so much going on, so much planning behind the scenes, and it's exciting. The future's exciting, but we've done 2 years and we're ready to go. We're into year 3. We're going to push, but it's 100% doable. You've just got to put the work in and understand what it is.
So now, what
Yes.
time is it?
It is.
I'll do the 5 slap going.
Okay.
Ready?
Destination spin.
Can you tell who's a father?
Okay. Right. Okay. So we're going to
What countries have we
in
got?
the wheel, we've got Vietnam, the Philippines, Australia, Malaysia, and South Korea.
Just for anyone that doesn't know what destination spin is, Chris will spin the destination of spinning wheels. I've said that,
That
in the
does
wrong.
not make sense. I will spin the wheel of destinations.
And then we will have to share a funny story from that destination.
Yeah. Already?
How many times did we just say destination?
So many. Ready? And the wheel is going, if you can't see it, on Spotify. It's spinning and it has landed on Australia.
Okay, Australia.
I have got a funny story.
You've got one.
Yes.
All right, go on then. You go first.
Coming to go.
Yeah, you go.
I'm going to paint the picture here, but we're not going to be disclosing names and people. Okay, I don't know.
Now I'm very
I don't know
worried. Right, go on.
I don't know if you know what I'm going to say.
I'm now
So-
a little bit scared.
Now, we went with friends. We went with friends to Australia, our good friends, and we were very fortunate to... I can't believe I'm telling this story. We were very fortunate to be able to go and experience life in Australia with locals and stuff like that. Now, we were very kindly treated to a boat trip with our friends.
I can't believe you're going to tell a story. I just know what it is.
We were very, very kindly treated to a boat trip with our friends' parents, and it was lovely to meet them. They've got a wonderful house with that backs onto a wonderful sort of like waterway, like it's almost like a canal in a way.
It was a man-made like river. It
Yeah.
was really nice, yeah.
Beautiful, and they had their own boat. So
The pride there.
Oh, it's their pride and joy. Pride and joy.
They get the dogs on it.
Yeah.
They're there. It's what they do.
It was immaculate. It had been polished from like head to toe. It was just literally, it was really nice.
It was really magical as well. We saw some bottlenose dolphins.
Yeah.
It was really incredible. We saw the giants of
So-
Mandurah, and it was really good. We were there fishing. We went
anyway,
crabbing.
yeah, we did
It
all
was
these-
really lovely.
It was wonderful. The boat journey it took some time to get to our destination, and one of the members of the party, no names at all, decided to use the toilet facilities on the boat. Okay.
I
Now-
am going to disclose that one of the party members was part of our family.
Yes, okay. It's
Because
part of
it
the
fell
family.
right onto
It's-
mine and Chris's
It's
shoulders.
part of our family. Okay. Now, the boat, we're not talking about a yacht here or a big cruiser. We're talking about sort of I can't explain it. It was
a very small boat, but it had facilities.
It had like a toilet you would probably find in a caravan with a pump, and a curtain.
Yes, so he basically sat behind the driver whilst just sitting on this thing.
Yeah.
But we were out for hours, hours and hours.
Anyway,
and hours.
One of the members of the party decided to use the toilet for a number 2.
A huge.
Yes.
A huge.
And unfortunately, I was informed that the toilet had blocked. And I mean, when it had blocked, I went in there and it was chronic. We were looking at high water levels and no movement.
I was on this island I was told there was snakes all over it, and I was looking for sticks
to unplug.
To poke it through. Because it went through like this churner thing to like churn it out into the water, I think. I'm unsure.
It was literally backed up. So the more I tried to press the flusher, the water was rising further near the rim.
And
the poor owners were like trying to deal with it.
They were being really nice.
They were.
I'd be so angry if it was my boat.
And the rim, the water levels. I mean, if it was literally inches of breaking the seal. And if we had gone to the level of breaking the seal, it would have just flooded the boat and it would have been chronic. But thankfully, a friend of ours who was on the boat jumped in and dealt with it and unplugged the clog, which with
his pure fingers.
Yeah, he went in.
He was in the water.
He went in. He
sacrificed his fingers and whole body for the sake of this massive turd.
Yeah,
going through the churner.
The clog was released, but it was chronic. I mean, I was there on this boat. Fluids were rising. It could have been a disaster. The journey home, I could only imagine, would have been horrific.
Thankfully, swirling around our feet.
Yeah, it got sorted. So that is my funny story.
I don't think
Australia.
It was funny. I think that was more of a disaster.
At the time, it was. Afterwards, it was funny.
It would be funny if he said the name of the person, had to stick his finger in the thing and unblock it before the whole boat got covered in.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious. So there we have it. That is this week's episode. We hope you have enjoyed it. Coming up next week is our China story, and there's a lot to it, and we are looking forward to delving into it and telling you a little bit of behind the scenes of what happened.
The secrets of China.
Oh yeah, the big secrets.
Yeah, the truth behind it all, which did actually blow my mind. So I cannot wait to speak to you about that.
Next week, we will be back with that. So if you enjoyed this episode, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review if you enjoyed it. It really does help. And we shall see you.
Oh, no, before you say that, if you follow us on Instagram, please make sure that you are looking out for the question box, because I'm going to be asking you for your questions on our visit to China.
Yes.
And I will be putting that up in a couple of days' time. So please make sure you're following the Dare to Venture pod and our family page, the Hutchinsons, on Instagram, because that will come up and you can pop your question in there. And more than likely, you're going to be answered in our podcast.
We will answer them next week. Okay, so we shall see you in episode 5 next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.